NBA 2K25, there are a various amount of ways to dominate on center, especially in the comp stage. And you don't need one particular height just to dominate. You can use a 6'8 inside, a 6'9 center. Maybe potentially you want to go bigger. Yo, pause, ʟɪධᴇ. I didn't mean that, bro. My bad. Or maybe even you want to go footer. Whichever height you're playing with, whichever build, there are a various amount of ways to dominate in NBA 2K25. And after watching today's video, you'll know everything you need to know to dominate with these top 5 center builds. This year will be my year.
I love Chris Rich.
Got a baddie in the cockpit. Niggas saying to him stop it. Pick up a check for Drilly the drop. I little rope and heck it. Keep a 30, can't stress. Bitches want me cause I'm flexing.
Yo, what is good, YouTube? It's the Kirby's of the Kirby's, the primes of the prime. And in today's video, as you guys can tell by the title and thumbnail, I will be giving you guys the 5 best center builds in NBA 2K25. 5 different variations, 5 different centers. And by the time this video is over, you will be dominating and competing on a high level on NBA 2K25. A lot of you guys have been asking me for my center build. Even though we are in June, I still gotta put you guys on. The like goal for today's video is 500 likes. I'm sure we can do that. I'm more than positive. If you guys are new to the channel and haven't already, I'm gonna need each and every one of you guys to leave a like, comment, subscribe, as well as turn on those post notifications. That way you guys are alerted every time I post a new video. I appreciate all the love that's been shown. We're going crazy across all platforms. If you want to follow me on any of my other socials, keep in mind the link to those are in the description below, so make sure you guys do that as well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into this video. Alright, so guys, in terms of the first build, the position is power forward, the height is 6'9", the weight is 255, and the wingspan is 7'5". Now, I know I may get some questions. If you guys are wondering why my 99 PA or my 2K20 Paintbeast build aren't in this video, I'll be leaving the links to those videos down in the description below. So if you guys want those builds, go check them out. But those builds are 2 other potential builds that you can make to dominate in NBA 2K25. Now, as you guys can see off the rip, this build has an 81 standing with a 73 driving, with a 94 O board as well as D board and a 94 strength. Now, once this build reaches its full potential with cap breakers, this build receives a 99 O board, a 99 D board, as well as a 99 strength. In addition, an 85 pass hack. So overall, this is the money soup center build. This right here is the typical 6'9" comp stage center build. This build has no weaknesses and it has a 90 vertical. If you're playing solely to win while playing on a high level, this is the perfect build to use. And if you're limited on cap breakers, this build is the perfect substitute. And in terms of the last cap breaker, because in total currently I have 16, you can place that either on your perimeter or your block. But like I stated before, this is one of the best builds to use for all bigs in NBA 2K25. That 99 O board, D board, as well as strength, plus a high pass hack on the center with a decent finishing, you're bound to dominate. And after you make this build, you will be dogging out the competition. And once you've applied all attributes, you should get shades of Dennis Rodman, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jeremy Sohan, and the build name should come out to a defensive anchor. If you don't have the money 6'9" build, then you need to make this defensive anchor. Now, for those of you that have played NBA 2K25 throughout the year, then you know the overall meta is a 7'2" center. Now, typically, if you've watched me or you have been watching, you know that I like to play against the meta. And throughout the stage, typically, regardless of the court that you're playing on, you are bound to see a 7-foot center. But regardless of the game mode that you're playing, 7-footers are the meta in NBA 2K25. Now, in terms of my footer build, the position you guys are going to want to go with is center. The height, you guys are going to go with 7'2". And for the weight, the sweet spot is 256. And in terms of your wingspan, you guys are going to want to go with 7'7". For those of you wondering how I made my footer build, my thought process when making this build, I'm gonna play with a guard with a high 3 ball that's gonna shot chuck all game long while I sit dead zone and get every single rebound. How do I tell you, gang? I'm playing the meta. So as you guys can see, I have an 85 standing dunk. Now again, I said I'm going to play the meta. So in terms of this build, I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to win while still being able to be effective on a footer. So as you guys can see, I have a 95 pass hack with an 89 interior defense, and I have a 60 steal. Now as you guys can see, in terms of this build, I have a 39 perimeter defense. Now with this build, I will not be hedging at all. I have the full intention to sit in the paint from the start of the game to the end. So with that being said, I will not be playing the perimeter. That is my reasoning for having a high steal with no perimeter. And depending on the lineup, if I'm playing with another center that's on a J bullet, all I'm gonna do is sit in the corner and play for lanes while hugging the corner. Now in terms of my block, I have a 75 block with a 96 O board as well as D board. And as you guys can see, I have a 94 strength with a 71 vert. Now guys, I want you to keep keep in mind you are a 7'2" center. You do not need a high vert. That size and the height is going to make up for it. And also, I want you guys to keep in mind with this build, in total, you have 16 cap breakers as well. Your cap breakers aren't changing depending on the build. So to maximize the cap breakers that I have, I'm going to give myself a 99 pass accuracy, a 99 O board as well as D board, as well as a 99 strength. And again, in terms of this build, I'm playing solely through my guard. So me having a high O board as well as D board, strength and pass accuracy is really what matters in terms of this build. And also keep in mind, you have a 99 pass accuracy. So every pass is a steamer. And on top of that, you guys have legend dimers. So if your mans is missing with legend dimer, I don't know, that's crazy. But this is the footer sᴜᴘᴘᴏ build of doom. And if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys screenshot this build and copy it down. I currently have shades of Will Chamberlain, Mitchell Robinson, as well as ʟɪᴜ. And if you made the build correctly, the build name should come out to a playmaking defensive anchor. This right here is the meta footer build. In terms of your position, you guys are going to want to go with power forward. And for the height, you guys are going to want to go with the 6'8". Now again, I'm giving you guys different variations of the best possible center builds you guys can use. And again, keep in mind, these are all competitive based center builds. For the weight, you guys are going to go with max weight and max wingspan. 275 pounds for your weight with a 7'4" wingspan. This 6'8" center build is solid all around. Now keep in mind, this is another inside center that you guys can use to win on a competitive basis. So far, I've given you guys a 6'9", a footer, and now this 6'8". And again, after making one of these builds, you will dominate. So if you want to win, make sure you have one of these center builds in this video. So let's go ahead and get into the 6'8" center build breakdown. All right, so first things first, in terms of this build, you guys are going to give yourself a 70 driving, an 81 standing, an 80 pass accuracy with a 75 interior defense. Now at the bare minimum, all you need is a 7. Nothing higher, nothing lower. If you go higher than the 70, then that's fine. But if you're going to go lower, at the bare minimum, go 7. For your perimeter defense, all you need is an 84 perimeter. Anything higher on a center is completely unnecessary. In terms of your steal, when making this build, you guys are going to give yourself a 91 steal. For your block, a 78 block. For those of you that do not know this, you do not need a high block on this game. I have various center builds with high dunk ratings, low dunk ratings, and I've been able to test it. A 78 block is perfect. In terms of your O board and D board, when making this build right here, you're going to give yourself a 92 O board with a 94 defensive rebound. Now for your speed, you're going to give yourself an 83 speed. When jumping from a 6'9" to a 6'8", you have that 3 speed difference, which you might feel not make a difference, but it does. For your agility, you guys are going to give yourself a 74 agility. For your strength, when making this build, you're going to give yourself a 94 strength. And in terms of your vertical, you guys are going to give yourself a 90 vertical. Now, in terms of cap breakers, in total, I have 17. For my defensive rebound, I'm going to throw 5 caps on that. That'll become a 99 defensive rebound. My strength, I'm going to add 5 cap breakers to my strength. That'll turn into a 99 strength. For my steal, I'm going to add an additional 5 cap breakers on my steal. That'll become a 96 steal, leaving me with 2 caps. And for the last 2 cap breakers left on this build, I'm going to put both of those on vertical alone. Overall, I'm telling you guys, this is one of the best 6'8" builds that you can make on this game. This build has a decent finishing with great defense as well as physical. So again, if you want to compete on a high level, this is a build that you should definitely consider making, because with this build, it's going to put you in a position to win along with the other center builds that are currently in today's video. With legend box out beast as well as rebound chaser and brick wall, you are bound to dominate with this 6'8" center build, or potentially any other builds that you make in today's video. And I'm telling y'all right now, this is definitely one of the best builds on NBA 2K25. And after making the build name comes out to the one, the only defensive anchor. I'm telling y'all, if you want to dominate, you need to be using this build. And for our fourth build, the position is power forward. The height is 6'9". The weight is 255 and the wingspan is 7'5". Now this build is another variation of my Paint Beast 2K20 build, which again, I stated I'm going to be leaving that build in the description below. So make sure you guys go check that out. But all in all, this is a better variation of that build. There are a few differences compared to the build, but overall, there aren't any massive changes. But again, if you want to dominate while having fun, this is another potential build that you can use. Now, off the rip, you guys see that I get a 93 driving dunk with a 71 standing. Now, even though that I have a low standing rating, I still get all the necessary dunks that I need because of my 93 driving dunk. Now, in terms of your pass accuracy, you're going to give yourself a 70 PA. For your interior, you guys are going to give yourself a 74 interior, an 84 perimeter with an 85 still. For your block, you guys are going to go 78 once again. For your O board, you guys are going to go with a 94. And for your D board, you guys are going to go with a 90 defensive rebound. For your speed, you guys are going to go with an 80 speed with a 74 agility. For your strength, you guys are going to go with a 94 strength and a 90 vertical. I'm telling y'all right now, this is one of the most fun builds in NBA 2K25. Keep in mind, my Paint Beast is this exact same build, but the only difference, I have a higher driving. But all in all, you can still dominate on this build. And I'm telling y'all, if you want to have fun, this is the perfect build to use. Now for our cap breaker breakdown, you guys guys are going to give yourself a 96 driving dunk. That'll be 3 cap breakers on the driving dunk, leaving you with 14 caps. For your O board, you guys are going to give yourself a 99 offensive rebound, leaving you with 9 caps left. For your strength, you guys are going to give yourself a 99 strength with 5 caps. That'll leave you with 4 cap breakers left to use. For your vertical, you guys are going to put 1 cap breaker on your vertical. And in terms of your last 3 cap breakers, you can put those either on steal or defensive rebound. It's solely up to you on what you want to put those on. But overall, if you want to dominate, this is another potential build that you guys can use to be successful. Because I'm telling you right now, with all these builds, you're being put in position to win on NBA 2K25. Now, I don't care, bro. It might be a few months left, but there is still time to be dominant while winning on a consistent basis. And with these builds right here, you're being put in that position. So if you haven't already, make sure you screenshot these builds right here. And after making this build will have shades of Elvin Hayes, Giannis Antetokounmpo, as well as ʔɪṛɪ. And after that, the build name should come out to a 2-way interior scorer. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into our final build, because these are the top 5 center builds in NBA 2K25. You guys are going to want to go with power forward. In terms of the height, you're going to want to go with 6'9", 255 for the weight, and a 7'5" wingspan. Now I'm going to explain everything. I'm going to explain in detail. That way you know exactly what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. Now in terms of your position, power forward has been and will continue to be the best position to go with in terms of bigs, in terms of 2K25. If you're not going power forward, what are you doing? I'm telling you right now, you need to go power forward. With 6'9" as your height, you're maximizing in terms of attributes as well as badges. So you need to go 6'9" power forward. 255 is the sweet spot, because I don't want to be too slow. I don't want to be too fast, but I also want to get everything that I want to get. If you look to the right, in terms of your physicals as well as my defensive attributes, I personally want that 99 strength as well as that 99 O board and D board. So you're going to want to go with 6'9", 255 as well as a 7'5" wingspan for this build right here. And I also want you guys to factor in the fact that I also made this build in terms of cap breakers. And with those cap breakers, they give me more wiggle room to make decisions that I want to make in terms of my attributes, pretty much giving me more leeway to make a better build. These are the attributes for the 6'9" build specifically. I'm not going to waste you guys' time. I'm going to explain more so the important things that matter in terms of this build. That way you guys know exactly why I did what I did and why I did it. I don't want anyone to be confused. I'm going to explain in detail why everything is what it is, and let's go ahead and get into it. Now in terms of this 6'9" right here, I have a 70 driving dunk with an 81 standing dunk. Now for those of you that may not play on a competitive basis, that is perfectly fine and really at the bare minimum all I need in terms of being a center to be successful. Because personally, I am not going for contact dunks. I could care less for the contact dunk. I care more so for the safety dunks, the two-handed dunks that do not get blocked. I'm not going to be out here doing park dunks, swag dunks, having a potential chance of my dunk being blocked. That is why I only have a 70 driving as well as an 81 standing dunk. I don't need to waste any other attributes. I am good where I am. Now in terms of your shooting, I want to talk about an underrated feat that's currently in the game, which is 2-way. After you get 2-way, it boosts all of your attributes. If you get 2-way, all of your attributes are boosted offensively as well as defensive. So with that, it does not matter your 3-point rating. At any rating, you can hit and green a 3 as long as you time it correctly. So with that being said, at any rating, you can green as long as you have 2-way with no 3-pointer or mid-range at that. Now in terms of my pass sec, I currently have a 72 pass sec, which is perfectly fine to get the pass off. Now what you do get during the season is 2 +1s, and those +1s are a badge elevate, and they go towards your badge. So most likely I will give myself gold dimer with those +1s. So anything above a 70 in terms of your pass accuracy is perfectly fine. That is more than enough in terms of your pass sec to get the ball off. Now in terms of your defensive attributes, I currently have a 75 interior, which is really all you need at the bare minimum of 70, but a 75 is perfectly fine. If anybody tells you you need anything less than a 70 or anything higher than a 75, they are yapping. They do not know ball. In terms of your perim, I have an 84 perimeter. Keep in mind, I have cap breakers as well. I don't need to go anything higher. The badges don't change, so I'm perfectly fine with an 84 perimeter. In terms of your steal, you guys are going to go with an 85 steal. If you decide to use one of your max +1s, then you can turn your interceptor to Hall of Fame, but personally, it really doesn't matter either way. The gold interceptor, you will still get lanes. Now, in terms of your block, this has been proven. A 78 block is all you need as a big to get blocks on a consistent basis. Again, do not let these people bait you. I am telling you from a competitive standpoint, do not get rattled by that bronze paint patroller. If you know how to play hands-up defense and learn how to contest, you will be fine. I'm telling you, all you need is a 78 block. Now, this is where we get weird. Currently, I have a 95 O board and a 95 D board. Now, if I use 2 sets of cap breakers, +4, not even my +5, that gives me a 99 O board as well as a 99 D board. I'm about to get weird, which will translate into me having legend box out beast as well as legend rebound chaser. Oh my god, chat, it's time to put the fries in the bag now because it's over. I'm telling you, this is the greatest center build on the game for 6'9s. I'm telling you right now, this is the salt. For your speed, 80 speed is perfect for centers, and in terms of of your agility, you can go 72 to 74 or 71. But in reality, really nothing less than. Now keep in mind, I said I was going to use my cap breakers. I currently have 14 cap breakers. So if we subtract these cap breakers evenly, here's how this is going to go. I use +4 on my O board, +4 on my D board. That's 8 cap breakers. I have 6 cap breakers left to use, man. 6. I'm going to use an additional +4 on my strength, and that'll give me a 99 strength. I'm getting weird. It's over. I'm getting weird. And on top of that, I already have a 90 vert. I'm dogging out all of the footers. Nobody is safe. I'm telling you, this is the greatest center build to ever walk this earth. I get everything and then some. No footers, 6'9", 6'10", 6'7". Nobody is safe. They're all being dogged out on this build right here. This is the greatest build on the game, which leaves me with 2 cap breakers, and I can throw them on whatever I want, but it really won't matter overall. But you guys, do you see the vision? Do you see how weird this build is? This build is the greatest build on this game. After you've done that, you see that you have no more attribute upgrades. And now, as you guys can see, you have shades of Dennis Rodman, Jared Vanderbilt, and Precious. Oh my God, I'm telling y'all, this dog build is the build to have. If you guys are new and haven't already, make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe, and turn on the post notification. This is the end of this video right here. I'm back, I'm better, and I'm ready to get locked in. This is gonna be a great year. We're locked, and I'll see you boys in the next one.